Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Fallout New Vegas. So, I spent probably an hour and a half at least sorting everything from the Lucky 38 to the sink. So, in this corner, I have taken every single weapon and I've taken every single mod that I had at the time to see what could be modded. The special named weapons here cannot be modded, it seems, at all. It just doesn't seem like there was a case. Some of these I've put the same mod twice, and so there is potentially an argument to sell one of these modded ones. You notice though that the value only goes so much, and the vast majority, I would say 95% of all these weapons are not valuable. They're not over 4,000 caps, even at their best state. A significant amount of them are not even over 100 cap in their best conditions. And I looked at every single weapon, and most of them either are far below 100 damage per second, or a small percentage, maybe 20%, are slightly above 100 damage per second, but very few of them get into the 2s or 300s as far as damage per second, and that has left me with just choosing the Cyberdog gun, which actually has the highest damage per second at 432, the rocket launcher, which actually has a damage per second of 77, because it's so incredibly slow. It's actually below what, and I have the rocket launcher mostly because I just want to run around and use it. The riot shotgun, we haven't played with the shotgun much, at 364 damage per second, and that's about it. This big mountain transponder would be so helpful if there was anything to do with it in the Mojave Desert. But once we go into the next DLC, which is what we plan on doing today, hopefully, it becomes useless once again. It only works in Big Mountain and the Mojave. It doesn't work, I think, in any of the other DLCs. So that inherently means I'm going to just become over encumbered. Now, I put all of the outfits here, and yeah, 25 is about the most DT you're going to get, whereas most helmets are going to have very little, somewhere between 1 and maybe 10 DT for the helmets, and then some of them just have damage resistance. So the best outfit here comes with a big caveat that you have to listen to the AI. I don't think there's a way to turn it off. Would be the Stealth Suit Mark II. But even doing a whole bunch of selling and buying more mods at the Gunrunner's arsenal, there's no way to there's just no way to get the 18,000 caps needed to repair the stealth suit, which also I think I have lost somewhere, probably at the Gunrunner's arsenal. We need to go check that. I think I may have accidentally sold it. Then I put one of every miscellaneous item here, and I've put the useful stuff that would act potentially as a allow list or filter here for the reloading, which it really is just cherry bombs, conductors, lead, and scrap metal. Those are the only miscellaneous items that you use to reload. Everything else are weightless leads. Well, lead's not weightless, but weightless cases, powders, and primers, all of which you can just have in your inventory. Here we have several guns to sell, which will take these. Then the filter list for crafting is much longer, and then here we have weapons of some sort to repair. The knife in particular isn't really to repair as much as it is to just to use for crafting, I think. So it's the knife's actually in the wrong place. Knife should be over here in this one. And then I've put the filter list for cooking, which is quite a long amount. Here. And then I've put the one of every cooking aid item here in this list, which is a much longer list. So yeah, there is still a long amount of junk, and I'm going to use this one just for temporary dumping of items. And so every time I get back to the Mojave, this would be the place I'd want to go to do all the crafting and cooking. You have the extra issue, certainly, of
very good, sir.
You have the extra issue of the of the fact that, see this Gatling laser. Was I really gonna sell the Gatling laser, or was I gonna use the Gatling laser? I wasn't gonna use the hunting revolver. But yeah, I'm trying to pull as much caps out as possible. So I guess take back like three. We'll do this in just groups of 3. And maybe over by way more than that much. There we go. So I need something smaller to sell. Then the brush gun. So yeah, there's sorry, I'm just going quiet here. There's still a lot of stuff to do as far as training and coming back and just adjusting all of this. I don't want to inherently lose a bunch of caps though, because there's still just a massive amount. See, that should be perfect. Just a massive amount of shopkeeping to be done. If not at that shop, then at the next shop. And the game just crashed, which I think you have that extra risk, certainly, of that happening a lot too. And I just loaded the game. I also spent a lot of time running around, just making sure all of my companions are going to stay at the Lucky 38. The Lucky 38 is now empty of items, with the exception of Arcade Gannon, who, because we're at the end of the game and we finished his companion quest, he is nowhere to be recruited at all, which definitely seems like a mistake that we can't get Arcade Gannon back, but doesn't really matter. Arcade Gannon wasn't that interesting of a character. Now, there is an interesting thing I noticed, particularly at the Lucky 38, but actually just about anywhere. The number of caps in a casino, not caps, cups. Yeah, the number of cups in a casino, like the Lucky 38, is very high. So there is this possibility that you would pick up all the cups in a casino, all the whiskeys, all the alcohol, everything, every single thing that you would consider generally just vendor trash in the Lucky 38. You just get that from each of the rooms, including even the presidential suite where Mr. House is, which would make Mr. House's area look very ugly, and it will make all the areas very empty. You pick up all of that and then become over encumbered, and then you could fast travel to the sink while over encumbered, and you could take all those cups and turn them into more valuable crafting items. That would be the path, certainly, towards
welcome, sir or madam.
Towards breaking the system better. That being said, there is a big caveat there, in that you would have to walk through Freeside, two different parts of Freeside, to get to the outside to use the teleporter. There is just no fast way to do that. So if you were going to do that, you'd probably want to go into every casino, buy it, pick up every single cup, spend 3, 4, 5 hours doing it, dumping it in some kind of container when you get encumbered, and then minimizing the amount of time you actually were encumbered overall. That would be the way I would say to do it. There's a lot of guns here, some of which are named guns, that I think you can only find here. And there's still a good number of guns here that I think I may have just never picked up anywhere else. I may specifically have just done something really stupid and used the Mark II to repair something else, because I cannot find it. If that's the case, that would really suck, and there's nothing stopping you from doing that. There's multiple versions of mods, and the mods are fairly expensive, and the value seems like it's all over the place, because like this mod says the value is 5,000, they want 3,000 for it, so my barter is reducing the price. But then if I was just to sell it back to them, I would not sell it for that much either. So there is definitely an argument to just going down this whole path and buying like one of any gun that looks like it's a named gun, or one of any gun that looks like it is something we just haven't picked up before. Like that one we probably haven't done, but probably would make more sense to buy that one.
Come back and see.
Yeah, and I have no idea. There's also a danger in that you have this weapon. As you walk around, you might accidentally pull the trigger on the weapon and end up teleporting yourself. Crimson Caravan. Where's the medical clinic? Medical clinic is over there. While I was wandering around in the old Mormon fort, I did find that the family that I saved from being enslaved by Legion, Caesar's Legion, and the game crashed again. The family that I saved from being enslaved is in the old Mormon fort during the daytime, and there was a little bit more dialogue to ask the followers to provide medical support to the NCR. I don't think it really would be worth the effort, though, to finish the game a second time and see what would happen if I sided with the NCR. I don't think I can particularly side with the NCR. So because of that crash, I didn't buy the gun I was thinking about buying. And as far as I can tell, there isn't somebody in the Crimson Caravan that can repair things.
Hey there, you looking to buy or sell? Can do.
And yeah, if you were going to just rob people and kill people, I don't think you're gonna succeed. Like this grenade machine gun, for instance. It's very possibly I've just never done that. Right. And this would probably be the last place that I might have accidentally sold the stealth suit to. Yeah, but it seems to me like I've probably just messed some things up. And a lot of the things I sold to a store like this in the past now has some value.
See ya.
Yeah. Let's equip. I actually probably should have sold some things. Like my weight is fairly heavy right now.
Hey there.
And so it does make sense for me to sell items. Some of these obviously are very low in value, but they still are fairly high in weight. So those are more crafting things.
See ya.
And you can see that amongst 3 or 4 different shops, the cap values have started to go up a little bit higher. And remember, we have the Wild Wastelands enabled right now. So I want to kind of wander around and see what the Wild Wastelands is really going to have occur. Like, you would think it might create whole new events.
Hello.
But
You're back. Do you need
like
medical
whole
attention?
new quests, but it doesn't seem like that's the case. There's more junk here.
Take care.
We can't buy any implants. So yeah. Unless I somehow left the stealth suit in the Lucky 38. Or somebody took it and put it on as far as one of the companions in the Lucky 38. I think I've totally lost the stealth suit. I must have accidentally used it to fix something else. Our inventory is pretty good. And quest-wise, like, we still really don't have any better reception to the NCR. And we can't do this one, so the next move would be to do the Happy Trails. But it might actually be down. It might be better to actually do the reunion as the oldest one. But the first thing I want to do is I want to just go take on a bunch of death claws. Yeah.
I've got you now. Had enough.
Whoops. Definitely not worth getting into a fight for stealing a single bear. Notice how the audio there is still playing, even though I just loaded the whole state of the game back. Yeah, clearly this game is not programmed right. And a big part of that, I think, definitely comes down to... So, it may be considered stealing just because these are closer to her. Well, that's considered stealing too. Interesting. So you have to be extremely careful activating a campfire here, or you're going to accidentally steal something. Alright. I have 60 shots. I want to run down here and see if there are any death claws. Otherwise, I'm going to go into a different location and see if we can take on some death claws. Which would require some swimming. I don't have any companions with me because I'm just going to lose the companions again. Yeah. This place is just completely cleaned out. There are no death claws in this area at all. Yeah. So in a funny way, with the sink, had we gotten it very early in the game, we could have cleaned out the whole world with all the junk. It'd just be permanent things. Here's some more of those non-canonical construction trucks that I don't think make sense. Oh, that's crazy. Okay. Well, I know that there are death claws in this general direction. I also know that this abandoned Brotherhood of Steel bunker is a DLC section. I don't want to quite do that yet. I want to set my marker this way. Notice it's nighttime after I fast traveled, so if you did have a perk that was supposed to gotta be careful here because I don't think you just fall into the water itself and not take fall damage. In fact, I have no evidence at all that says fall damage would be averted. If you fell in water, so I'm just leaning against the walls to try and avoid falling as much as possible. There's two things. I want to use all $60 of my rockets and just use up the rockets because this is such an incredibly heavy weapon. That it just doesn't make any sense to carry it around ever. Of course, blowing up lake lurks is probably a waste. And a lot of these outer edged areas definitely feel like they are emergency backup locations of a few items that you might have picked up. Yeah, and I would say this weapon in particular is really only good against death claws. It's the only thing that you would need to use it for, and even then death claws are going to be very fast, so you're going to have to hit them from a distance and attack fast, or they're just going to jump towards you and kill you. Weirdly, you can collect Deathclaw hands in this game, but that has so far seemed to be just a somewhat valuable but useless item. And missiles, I assume, are targeting weapons, where rockets, I assume, are not. Missiles propel themselves, rockets maybe not. I guess I really don't know the difference between a missile and a rocket. Maybe missiles have fins, rockets don't. Rockets launch themselves, but missiles are propelled with extra force. It looks almost like you could climb up there, but there's no way the game is going to let you do that. Yeah, visually there definitely should be some just like obvious well-worn paths. And certainly with Fallout, with all the radiation, just glowing green goo could be a great way to mark a path. As we've taken yet another step closer towards the end of the game, I've also had some thoughts as far as perhaps playing the Mad Max game, which is pretty old, and yeah, I believe one of the companies, the company that made it, is laying off a bunch of people right now as of recording, which is true for most video game companies right now. I'm still not really seeing Wild Wastelands do anything. It doesn't seem like it's increasing a spawn rate of anything weird. I think I've seen maybe one enemy that has just some crazier skin colors. Kind of had like a human in Freeside, looked like he maybe had a little bit of purple skin. That looked a little weird, but isn't that crazy. Okay. Believe this is here. Let's make a safety save because this game has crashed multiple times and I don't want to walk that whole distance again. And now I was not expecting that. Okay. Can we use the NCR emergency radio? So we can't do that here either. Interesting. So we're just gonna headshot death claws. Don't worry, there are more. But it might be beneficial to take this fairly slow. The real move, the better move, would be to have looked at the challenges that existed throughout the game. Interesting, slowly floating up. As far as what kind of guns to use, what kind of challenges to try to accomplish, and try and figure out which of those challenges potentially repeat. That would give you, I guess, an accelerated experience. Really, using VATS to target the head does seem to do about twice the damage. But it's definitely not like I'm immune from the damage. And Misfortune doesn't seem like she wants to show up. I really only have so many stim packs. So yeah, when I come over to this side and start trying to take on the alpha, I'm gonna have to hopefully hope that the explosive force around takes out more than just one of them. I assume this is giving me XP, and we're approaching kind of the end of the game as far as max levels, which means we will probably end up doing some of the DLC with us at the maximum level. I don't have enough action points to fire 2 missiles at the same time. I actually don't know if I'm actually getting any XP from any of this. Maybe I'm destroying any items also that the death claws might have on them. Right, so here's the death claw mother. Notice that the head is not even matching. I think we've got the alpha. And so once again, I've died trying to kill all of these people. Yeah, and I just don't think that that's worth it. So, yeah, I still don't think that there's anything here. And using that really didn't lead to anything. Let's see. Where do you find the challenges? I did find them in this menu, but can't remember where I put where they put them. I think it might be under weapons, but it's not under weapons. That doesn't make the most sense. Active quests. challenges. Here they are. So, to do this Gunrunner's arsenal, you'd have to have killed Mr. House with a 9-iron or Neff's golf driver, which this is a direct reference to Bioshock 1, which means that they had seen Bioshock 1, and I can only most generously say they were too far into development to learn any good lessons from Bioshock 1, which Bioshock 1 has a lot of lessons to teach this game, certainly as far as making all the audio journals be audio logs instead of paper read logs. There's like basically no reading you have to do in Bioshock 1 at all. And just also Bioshock 1 balances out the inventory way better and is just not this open world loot collecting game. Let's see. Kill any Legion members with hunting revolvers, Ranger Sequoias, brush guns, or service rifles, hunting rifles, or cowboy repeaters. Yeah. Kill any named NCR Region or Commissioned officer with machetes, rippers, chainsaws, throwing spears, or ballistic fists. Kill robots with a 5.56 pistol. Yeah. So most of these seems like you could do. Some of these you can't. Kill Caesar with a knife or a combat rifle. And I'm not sure that you need to do any of these Gunrunner Arsenal quests, or if they aren't just little challenges, not quite like achievements that you give you something. Yeah. Kill Benny with Maria. Like, there's definitely no way you could do this unless you had found all of this and followed it to a perfect T. A lot of this is just kill people with a very specific weapon, kill named people, killing enemies with unarmed. Once we get out of the Gunrunner's Arsenal ones, it's more reasonable. Killing enemies with one-handed guns. Yep. And see, I'm not sure that some of these don't just repeat over and over again. More energetic. Kill more enemies with energy weapons. Kill enemies with thrown weapons. Nuke it from orbit. Use any shoulder-mounted weapon to kill enemies 250 times. That's a lot. Kill enemies with guns. This one's called Shoot 'em Up Again, so this probably is after already killing a bunch of enemies. Killing super mutants would be kind of hard to do. Like 30 of them? You really would have to struggle with that. But I guess that these quests don't continue. I mean, these challenges don't continue. Thrown weapons. Energy weapons. Okay. So let's do this reunion quest. What is this? Coyote pups. This is probably a great example of what not to do as far as using this kind of weapon and why this kind of weapon is not useful. Okay. So the thing here that I would say is gonna go on is that I just don't know anything about Ulysses, and I barely even know his name, as to why he was supposed to play any bigger role. I'm gonna take this duffel bag and I'm gonna have to remind myself that I did this, and I'm going to drop things of heavy weight, including this missile launcher, which is going to leave me with just the shovel, the riot shotgun, the K9 Cyberdog gun, which is not an electric gun, and I guess the thought to double check there would be, did I even have any challenges I'm gonna assume I don't have anything of weight here. Do I have any challenges though? As far as shooting things with a shotgun. Use any large two-handled weapon to kill enemies. Kill with more explosive, kill with energy weapons, kill with thrown weapons, shoulder mounted, kill enemies with guns. Like, that's about it. Rifle grip guns. Melee weapons. Yeah. Like, I definitely haven't been playing with shotguns, so it seems to me like there either is just not really a challenge at all to use shotguns, or shotguns are just considered similar. Kill feral ghouls with Maria, Gehenna, and Holy Fang grenades. I don't know if you have to do that with all of them or just one. Holy Frag grenades. I haven't even seen Holy Frag grenades. Some of these definitely can't be done. Not without cheating. Kill animals with any Fat Man and frag mines. Wants you to do that 20 times. Kill Chairman, White Gloves, or Almoradas with any submachine gun, light machine gun. Alright. So pretty much none of that can be done. And I would just say using this reinforced armor Mark IIs for 25 pounds is still kind of heavy. We're also in a weird position where there's just kind of nothing else I can do. Like, there's kind of no other place to go to fight anything. Oh, wait, there was one thing I could do. And I did want to do that. So let's take all this back. Not over encumbered. And then let's go to Lucky 38. This is great that I remembered to do this, because if I didn't do this now, I wouldn't have an opportunity to do this for a long time. You need to go pick up Raoul from Lucky 38. And since that Sarsaparilla did refill my health to the maximum, we need to do his companion quest. Which that may not lead to much of anything, but it is a unmarked companion quest where we take Raoul and we have him talk to several people, which in fairness I kind of only know one person. While we're at it, we might as well just take Eddie with us.
Oh, it's you. Anything's better than staying here. Let's go.
Yeah. Ideally you would want Arcade Gannon in here too. This whole place is completely empty of items that can be picked up now. Unless new items appeared. Well, not 100% completely empty. I didn't pick up that ashtray. But it is just now it's just now a case that this is where the companions can hang out without fear of them stealing anything. There is a small possibility that there might be something in this terminal, or that you would want to come to this. Notice you don't upgrade your suite any. Like, maybe you would sell some things. I'm gonna grab these throwing spheres and see if maybe we can use them. This would, I guess, maybe be a location where maybe I put the Mark II stealth suit. But I'm not seeing it. But yeah. This vending machine never refilled. There is actually quite a lot of caps on the floor that look like things you can pick up. You can't have the snow globes move, which I could see the sink just having a holographic snow globe collection. Yeah, there's absolutely nothing to pick up and nothing in the inventory now. And once you've done all the companion quest stuff, which the game doesn't really do a good job of showing you that, there's no reason to play with the companions. So I ran around this whole casino and picked up like all the cups, except for up here. I forgot about going up here. And it took a long amount of time just to pick up coffee mugs and cups to potentially take to the sink. And Yeah, food, things like that probably don't matter. But there are a lot of situations like this where it's just a lot of stuff on display. And most of these items would have been absolutely useless. You wouldn't have wanted to pick them up for fear of being over encumbered. But with the sink, that's not as big of a deal. Although it still is a big deal, because if I became over encumbered here, I'd have to slowly walk out of this area. And it's not like it converts crafting items greatly. And you'll see that there's all these little bottle caps here, but when you pick up something near them, it establishes their gravity and then they just clip through the boxes. So if I pick up this paperweight, for instance, that would have caused all of these to drop. And that's why some of these are now just piles of caps that can't be moved. Like, it's not like you can right click them and move them at all. And that's just bad programming inherently, because in the final cleanup of the game you should have just said poker chips in the world should have no physics, disable their physics code, or don't install any physics in them. And that's what a more openly used sort engine would do. Whether it's open source or not, something like the Unreal Engine, is that you would definitely have a toggle that said has physics or not. Okay. So, at the Nellis Air Force Base, we need to talk to a character named Loyal. Which, can we find Loyal on the map? Easy. I'm unsure as to which one is Loyal. And there's still a lot of stuff here to steal, so if you had the sink and you wanted to just pick up everything in the game, you still would have to play very much as a thief. It doesn't seem like there's anything here. Loyal may just be the name of the old lady. Has this area changed? I don't think it really has. And yeah, at a certain point, if you were just going to steal everything, then you don't need the caps to do crafting in the first place. Okay. Loyal, if not in the two hangars, it's probably in one of these bunkers. Pearl is the name. Women's barracks. Let's see, Boomer, Boomer, Boomer. I don't know if I've ever even been in this barrack before. Boomer. What time is it, by the way? It's 4 in the afternoon. Just a bunch of...
Hey, going on? I am La Phantoma. I will fly to the side of injustice.
So we have a Christmas 7 with this.
Yes, it has been a long time since La Phantoma had a good sidekick. Bye.
So yeah, you have a lot of these random encounters that you know you're just not going to see a bunch of. Loyal. I wouldn't be surprised if it's as high as like 25% of all the content in this game, outside of even the Legion quest. It still hasn't been seen. Right, Loyal's house. Loyal is not here. Well, as much as I may hate the fact that these NPCs walk around being in their house, we can just wait and see how long it's going to take for somebody to walk in here. 10 p.m., 11 p.m. It might just be a case that Loyal is gone forever. Like, at this point, 1 a.m., 2 a.m. It should be here. I'm sure it would be nice to be able to mark people on your map and find them that way. Just any named character should show up in some kind of long-running long-running, I guess, yellow pages would be the closest thing. Just list the names, sorted ideally by factions. So if Loyal is the character I'm thinking of, he was here. A lot of time, but then we got him mixed into that whole relationship, so maybe he's at the Crimson Caravan. For all I know, he's possibly just up here working.
I'm amazed that an outsider has proven so helpful.
You would think that these difficult to reach boomers would just be regular boomers and not named characters like Loyal. Jack.
I'm amazed that an outsider has proven so helpful.
Janet.
Thank you for getting me here. Jack is a great guy.
Okay.
I've never been so happy in my entire life.
So that was Jack and Janet that I was thinking of. So Loyal is somebody else. And he's the repair guy. I think. Maybe he wasn't. Maybe he doesn't spend any time in his. Maybe he doesn't spend any time in the house. Maybe he spends time in the repair shop that was to the right of the house. Now, I have to admit, I am kind of just goofing off a little bit right now, trying to kill time so we can start the new DLC next episode. Does seem like we could activate this. Let's make a safety save and see what happens if we do that. So there was a whole DLC in Fallout 3 where you get into one of those pods and you do a whole simulation.
I've never seen a ghoul up close. I'm not sure I want it.
Does the local map not show us anybody else that's named? Here we have it completely glitched. You'd think if Raoul was all about repairing, then I would just need to repair a bunch of stuff.
You've done us a great service. Thanks for your help.
Yeah?
So this would be the place to go, I guess. As far as get some mods. And this would be the place to go to buy weapons. And I guess the question in particular would be, can you buy mini nukes? It might be worth it just to buy all the bullets, but let's just buy those.
Bye.
You've done us a great service. Thank you for your help.
So, yeah. I'm lost, and I guess I need to pull up Raoul's companion quest again and see what the other two people we were supposed to talk to was, while we slowly walk in this direction. Just pushing forward on the controller while I'm typing on my cell phone.
Hey.
This is Pete. Not loyal. What time is it now? It's like the middle of the afternoon, so totally would make sense that he would be either here Or it would be here. And he doesn't seem like he's either of those. Okay. So now I'm clicking on Loyal to see if I can figure out where he might be. Let's see. Eats breakfast at the mess hall and munitions storages from 8 to 10 a.m. And then the south hangar of Nellis or in his house. And I'm seeing. If there's anything else. Let's see, I think you could probably talk to the other two companions, but I think you have to talk to all three of them. So yeah, either Loyal's dead, which it would be my guess, is that he somehow got blown up. I have no idea where the mess hall would be. Children's barracks. Biodiesel refinery. Okay, the mess hall and munition storage is there. Okay. We'll try this one more time and then we'll have to jump to the other two characters and hope that just talking to the other two characters is good enough to move this companion quest forward. Which, yeah, there's just no way. There just absolutely is no way that you would. Okay, 12 hours would be 1. Then that would be 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, absolutely. There's absolutely no way you would know you needed to go talk to Loyal in particular because Raoul. Like the only thing the two of them share somewhat are that they are old. Boomer Chief. Boomer Chief. Boomer.
Morning.
I'd really have to question what happened to Loyal. Like,
You've done us a great service. Thanks for your help.
how could we have killed him without killing anybody else? Or did we kill him? Or did somebody else kill him? Some other NPC decided to fight Loyal at some point. Let's wait an hour. And then run around the room
I can
again.
take care of that robot problem for you. Just saying.
Yeah, he has disappeared. And if you wanted just a massive amount of coffee mugs, and these dinner plates also get broken down.
Done us a great service.
This would be a place to steal them.
Morning.
Most games would have a respawn of some sort. Let's just run around here. Yeah, you'd have resetting so things wouldn't be in the wrong place. You would have respawning of characters. It'd be fairly easy to simply have characters, if they are named, respawn in their beds every morning or once a week.
Hello.
A lot of people coming in and out. This is definitely not the place. Okay. Yeah, Laurel's gotta be dead. Okay. Well, I have no idea what happened. I suspect it may have been something like this character, who is potentially just running towards some encounter that they have perceived far, far away. Well, the other options are to go to Novak. Let's see. Which one's Novak? Here it is. And talk to Ranger Andy.
Hey there.
Interesting,
Need
this guy
anything?
has a Legion flag that he's wearing.
Sure. Here's what I got.
And I guess that is probably some of the Wild West thought. This guy has basically nothing I want. You could craft some things with some of that stuff, but so this might very well just be where the Wild Wasteland changes things, is that you'll just have some characters randomly dressed differently, but they don't seem like they really change any different and change anything otherwise as far as their actions and their
That President
stories.
nearly got killed at Hoover Dam.
So here's another old person. Let's talk to Ranger Andy.
What's new? Right now, a whole lot of sitting on my keister and counting cracks in the ceiling. I wouldn't wish it on anybody. On better days, I help keep the peace. Boone and Vargas watch the road. I watch the town. Tell myself I'm doing some good.
Now, I don't know how much conversation we really have to have here, so let's just end this conversation now.
Look out for yourself.
And see, that didn't seem like that triggered anything. I wouldn't be surprised if I had already talked to.
Okay, so maybe I was wrong about the thunderstorm. I admit it.
Let's see.
Sure, boy.
Okay, so that didn't seem like that triggered anything.
What's new?
So.
Like what?
So I think
Look
I've
out for
now
yourself.
had the entirety of that conversation happen. And that doesn't seem like that's triggering anything. Here's a DC Journal of Internal Medicine. Not that I need to pick it up. Okay.
Hey, boss. Can I ask you something? What do you think of guys like Ranger Andy? That wasn't what I meant, really. I mean, guys who have a world of experience doing what they do, but have to give it up because they're getting old and slow or too injured.
Let's answer all these questions here.
Yeah, I suppose you could still teach. Take a less active role in the world. That's not so bad. Would it surprise you to know that I used to be a gunslinging adventurer? I grew up in a place called Hidalgo Ranch, just outside Mexico City. It wasn't much, just a bit of a farm, with a house for 3 generations of Tejadas. I wasn't the best behaved kid. I was quick with my hands, with a pistol or a wrench. And I wasn't afraid to get into fights over it. I never killed anybody, but I had my share of run-ins with the police. Mostly my family kept me in line. This was before the war. We were far enough away from Mexico City when the bombs fell that we missed the worst of it. But things got bad quick. Just a few days after Mexico City.
So he just gives backstory.
Refugees started pouring down the road to our ranch. We helped who we could, but there were so many. Eventually, my father started turning people away before we ran out of food. Things got violent. My father and I got our guns, and we drove them off. About 24 men came back in the night after we'd gone to sleep. They set fire to the ranch house and barred the doors from the outside. My whole family was trapped inside. I smelled the smoke, and I got myself and my little sister Rafaela out through a window. But everyone else, my parents, my grandmother, my 2 brothers, and 2 of my sisters, all died. Rafaela and I ran. We were pursued by some of the men who attacked our home, but I was always a good shot. The ones who came after us, I killed. The rest, I left be. I had to take care of Rafaela, not throw my life away on revenge. I know that, boss. That's not what I'm getting at. I'm just getting sentimental in my old age. Anyways, forget it. Just wanted that off my chest.
Okay, so that's one part of the companion quest, is talking to old people, because he's old. Which there's only so many of them. The problem here is that if we can't find Loyal, I don't know if we can move this quest all the way to the end. The third option is Camp McCarran, which might as well try a couple of things. Let's find Camp McCarran first of all. So many different locations marked now. It's hard to find them. Be nice if you could toggle off some locations, since a lot of them aren't going to matter.
Your ghoul friend better not be radioactive.
Our guys put the monorail back to work.
So we're looking for Corporal Sterling. We know specifically in Camp McCarran there's a lot of people. So yeah. And this companion quest is just 100% a talking quest, I would imagine. Sure, if you didn't have fast travel, you would walk around.
Hey, Doc.
And encounter some random people. Random enemies, though, don't seem to be generating particularly well. The funny thing is, even playing on very easy, I feel like going into hardcore mode would be more difficult than raising the difficulty would.
Patrolling the Mojave almost makes you wish for a nuclear winter.
Even now, I still don't really feel like I could have quite enough resources to manage a sleep. Well, sleep would be easy enough, you just have to sleep. But to manage hunger and thirst, it's quite a lot. This is a really big location. And it's 7 p.m. So these people should be around. And again, if you were just gonna loot a place, yeah. There kind of is only two ways to play this game. One is to be a bad guy and fight for Caesar and just attack and loot places like this and just steal everything. Or one is to be a good guy and, for the most part, side with the NCR. This may be a case that I cannot do this quest either. Like, everybody's missing. And what I would assume is everybody is missing because of the Hoover Dam battle. But we haven't started the Hoover Dam battle.
Patrolling the Mojave almost makes you wish for a nuclear winter.
So where is everybody?
What do you need? I have a job.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it at all.
Something I... Yes? What is it? What?
Yeah, the people outside have never shown any indication that they would come inside. Sorry, I'm just totally sitting here in silence trying to figure out where these people would have gone. It's just like everybody is missing now. Maybe that's the Wild Wasteland's perk. Maybe that is more of a case of the game just being glitched. It shouldn't have anything to do with Old World Blues, though. They're all missing. Every single person is missing.
Nelson's back in our hands. I hope we can defend it this time.
We have random NPCs appearing out of nowhere. And it couldn't be because I have Raoul with me, because that wouldn't make any sense.
Hey, Doc.
What quest do I have equipped at the moment? Oh, it's because I'm in this whole presidential quest. Still. So because this is glitched, I can't talk to those people. And this does just put me in a very weird position. So I can't do his companion quest either. I'm getting reduced XP now at 9%. Let's see. As far as weapons go, we wanted like overkill, but we don't have too much overkill.
Okay, I guess we're doing this.
And our companion has killed quite a lot of people in the past. And this is about the only time where a cinematic shot makes sense. That was 18 XP. That was a Jackal Gang leader, which actually would have been a better enemy to shoot with some sawed-off shotguns or do some of the other challenges with. There's just nothing here. Like, my perception is too good. And this really is just grinding out a cheat challenges. You have giant empty areas like this where there's very little spawning. So pretty obviously this is not the way to grind. And that's just going to slow down the whole process quite a bit. It's been a while since we had the random spawn of the Legionnaires. And of course our companions are going to help quite a bit here. One guy's going to over-encumber me. I don't know if that's just because there's more and more items becoming that's in the inventory of these random spawn characters. I'm trying to spin around and see if there's any other place where some enemies might be. So, yeah. So, this is a great example, I guess, of what you would do. Otherwise, you're over encumbered. There's nothing you can really do in this area, so just I didn't realize you had to dismiss followers.
This is gonna be the big one, boss. If you're ready, I'm with you. That's what I love about you, boss. You're a firm believer. What can I do for you, boss? Good call. Hey, as long as you're not asking me to go back to Black.
So then you have to dismiss these guys. And so basically I think we are not going to have companions ever again. Like, because the DLC is going to argue to not do that. And so, yeah, you could either do one of two things, which is come over here and very quickly just drop everything that you weren't planning on holding on to, which in this case is a missile launcher, but in particular I need to put the missile launcher back into the other location because I don't have any of that. Yeah, I don't have an extra missile launcher, and anything with a plus is more than likely something that I need to keep on, need to hold and not accidentally use it to improve something else. And then you would do all of that, and then you would very quickly just want to drop all of that. Of course, this is not the end of it. This would be just an example of what you would do to give back to the gameplay very quickly. It's still not that quickly. Still not that good as far as reducing weight. And then there's potential here that I picked up something heavier. And so, yeah. You could do a lot of sorting that way, but in reality, what you need to do is sort it better against the filters, which that takes a lot longer to do. That is going down this entire list and seeing if there's something that matches this list over here in your inventory. And then that really isn't even solving the full issue, because all you're doing is moving your dump pile to your sort pile. Then you would have to go over through your sort pile and take out all the ingredients except for one. And obviously this should be automated to then take it to your cook pile, which might just be easier to cook
Muggy?
first.
Yeah, Muggy's alright. Not too serious.
Yeah. You have to be careful not to take this Rydo upgrade either, because that would lose the mods on it. I'm looking. I want to find another K9000 Rydo or K9000 gun, but the only way I would possibly find something like that would be to run around Big Mountain. And yeah, there's almost no reason to do reloading at all. It doesn't make any sense at all. Those missiles in particular show off that they are very helpful. And if your health was low, you'd come over here, and if you had
Greetings, citizen.
items, you would process them. But I would not process books anymore.
Greetings, citizen. What?
Clearly this all should just be a better, faster experience. An automated experience. It is crazy to have to do this much.
I hate.
And I guess I don't have any mugs or ceramic dishes. This is finally refilled. Seems like it takes 4 or 5 days for this all to grow. And I'm not sure that the ratio of any of this is particularly good. Yeah, if you have empty bottles, you could refill them here if you needed to. I'm not sure you really need to do that, though.
Always nice to see.
Then you can give all the extra to get ceiling green to make a better system. But yeah, all of that is technically the fastest way to do it, and it's still not that fast. And I guess the good news is we just won't have the opportunities to do all of this and go back to the sink. So I have a lot of off-screen stuff we'll do, and then I promise next episode we will start the next DLC. There is unfortunately very, very little that we can do as far as the overworld, and if I wanted to see that content, I really would just have to play the game all over again, which puts me in a very weird position, because I really don't think I like the game enough to want to play it a second time. We haven't seen all the DLC, maybe that will change my opinion somewhat, but man, that seems like a lot of extra work. Of course, these games are so old that
not looking hard enough.
These games are so old that obviously people would have had time to play these games 2 or 3 times. But by modern 2024 standards, if you bought the game brand new, you'd play it once at most, and you would never have the free time to go back and play it again unless you are just maximizing your output, or not spending a bunch of money. I guess I'd have to go through all these. And the bad news here is that I have 42 out of 75 achievements, and I just got an achievement called Love the Bomb. Was Love the Bomb a Gunrunner's achievement, or was it not? So each of these challenges may directly line up with an achievement, which would make sense, which tells me I don't have to worry about achievements because there's obviously some things here that you just can't get. And then when I hit next challenge time, type, there's a whole bunch more. So yeah. Here we go. Inflict damage with the shotgun is a challenge, and that's what I wanted to play with. So I think that's what I'll do. And I'll not worry about achievements because it doesn't seem like it's realistic. Yeah, it definitely doesn't seem like it's realistic that you could get all of these achievements in one playthrough. Some of these also, I just don't know if it's realistic that you'd ever get them, or if you can even do it. Some of these are also DLC things, like find all of Eddie's upgrades in the Divide. Yeah, that is DLC stuff. Completed Lonesome Road. So, yeah, these might be the main game things, or generic challenge types. But then I don't know what these would be. So yeah, I'm very confused. 42 out of 75 achievements, not gonna get them all. They're not all story related. I would argue maybe this is the kind of game that all of the achievements should be story related, with perhaps the exception of playing on hardcore mode from the beginning, which would be a true achievement and not just a gimmick achievement like most achievements are. But yeah, I'm officially giving up on achievements at this point, since Steam only highlights games where you get 100% of the achievements, and there's no way I'm going to get 100% of the achievements. Alright, yeah. I am hoping once we get more into the other DLCs, it'll be less junk heavy also, and so I won't be ending every episode and then spending several minutes to an hour sorting out inventory in between each episode. I just don't think that's actually even going to work once we get into the other DLC sections. Anyways, that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and keep on watching. Thanks.